What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you, S&E's Garage. Today we got the GX 470 up on the lift today, and we are going to be servicing the front differential, the transfer case, and the rear differential. So we're going to be running Valvoline 75 W90 gear oil, fully synthetic, in the transfer case and both differentials. In an application like this, I really don't think it's necessary to run AMS oil. We're not running this thing at 100 plus miles an hour on the highway. It's going to be literally a drive around town vehicle and a takeout, you know, off-roading, go down trails, things like that. So the 7590 by Valvoline is going to be perfect. They call for between 7590 and 8090 depending on which component you're looking at. It's all the same stuff, really isn't going to matter. So in our last video with this, or probably 2 videos ago now, we did just completely rebuild the front end of this thing. We lifted it, we replaced the axles, and when we replaced the axles, we did the axle seals, and we did lose quite a bit of gear oil out of there. So that's why I figured, you know what, let's just do everything. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to locate your fills and your drains. What you're going to have here is your fill plug up here and your drain plug down there. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to get our Allen keys and we're going to go ahead and crack the fill plug open. We want to be able to make sure that we can fill this before we completely drain it. So I always like to take the fill plugs out first, and this should be the size. We may just have to spray some, you know, brake clean in there to clean that hole out. But it is a 10 millimeter Allen key. I'll leave one of these in the video description below. And then I believe it's going to be the same back here. No, these are going to be 24 millimeters. I'll leave one of them in the video description below. I have a special socket for them, believe it or not. And then back here, we got the same deal, the same 24 millimeter. So that'll work for back here. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Let's drain the front, fill the front, and we'll just work our way back. Okay, so like I said, we're just gonna spray a little bit of PB Blaster there into the Allen key so that we can make sure that we get this socket in there all the way. The very last thing that we wanna have happen is this get rounded out. So, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and take this off the rest of the way. Now we're going to set it aside. And let's go get our drain bucket and start draining the diff. Same deal here. Let's just spray a little juice in there. Clear that hole out. And let's get our Allen key in there. Now I may have to use an extension on this because it looks like the ratchet's going to be in the way a bit. Work that socket in there and crack it loose. Man, that did not want to come out, huh? Let's just let that drain. While that's draining, we're just gonna go ahead, inspect our drain plug, make sure there's no real fuzz on the magnet for it, clean it up, and we'll be back when this is done draining. So it's rather cold out right now here in New Jersey. It's about 45 degrees in the shop right now. So depending on your ambient temperature is going to depend on how fast or how slow this is gonna drain. This fluid wasn't really that dirty. It's a little discolored, but there's no water in it. It's not milky. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this good. Got most of it out. Now, ordinarily I'd be replacing these crush washers, but this is the first time that I've ever opened these. So I didn't order them. They're copper crush washers. You can reuse them once or twice. It's not gonna, you know, hurt anything. So no harm, no foul there. But let's just go ahead and run this down. You don't have to murder it, just snug it up. Okay. And now we can take our Valvoline pouches and start filling this up. I ordered 8 pouches. That should be enough to service the whole system. You know, all of the components. If it's not, I'll let you know at the end of the video, but I will leave this stuff in the video description below. I use this on just about everything, and it works great. Now we are going to pump this stuff in until we see it begin to overflow out of the fill hole. And this is what I love about the pouches. You can stick them quite literally anywhere without needing to use a fluid pump or anything crazy to get your fluid in. Okay, let's grab another pouch. And same deal. Squeeze it in. And once we see it coming out, we know we're done. Just like that. I'm gonna give this one more quick little squirt, just to make sure. And you'll see there it's slowly trickling out. So we're gonna go ahead and put that cap back in. And we're just gonna go ahead and use our ratchet. Again, snug it up. You don't need to murder it, just snug it. Now let's get some brake clean, spray that off. Okay, front diff is done. Let's move over to the transfer case. So it's gonna be the same deal back here. Fill, drain. Let's make sure that we can get the fill plug undone, which we can. And you'll also see this is definitely filled to the right level because it is just trickling out, which is good. And the fluid doesn't look bad either. Let's go ahead and crack that loose. Let's back you guys up just a hair here. I don't want to make a mess. And let's let her drain. Same deal here. I'm good with that. Nice slow trickle. The oil was clean. Not concerned about it. Let's go ahead and snug that up and we'll fill her up. So we used about 1.5 quarts for the front. Let's see what we use here in the transfer case. It's going to be our first full bottle going in. Again, give it one more quick little, give it the rest of this bottle, get that in there. Yep, we're full. Let's go ahead, cap it. And snug it down. So this took about 1.5 quarts as well. Let's go to the back. Here we are at the rear axle. Going to use the same 24mm socket. Going to break this fill plug loose. Just in case this decides to leak on us, which it didn't. Now let's drain it. Oof. Now here on this magnet, you're going to see a little bit of fuzz. A little bit of fuzz is normal. Don't go crazy. Wipe it off as long as you're not hearing any noises when you're driving. I wouldn't worry about it, but you do want to look out for large chunks. Large chunks could be a problem, and I'm not really feeling any here, so I'm good with this. I will tell you that I'm glad that we're doing this though, because that fluid is pretty dirty. It is worth mentioning that the front transfer case does not have a magnet. So there's nothing to clean on that. That's why you didn't see me stop and clean that. There's just nothing there to clean. Let's go ahead and let this finish draining. We'll get the drain plug back in, fill it up. All right, we let that drain. We got our drain plug back in. Just go ahead and fill this back up. We're gonna use the last licks of what we had from the transfer case. Get every last drop out of this thing. Okay. This is going to be our second full quart going in. Okay, let's go get another. And there we have it. So you will need roughly 6 quarts to go ahead and get this done, doing everything, front diff, transfer case, and rear diff. 6 quarts, you'll be in good shape. Snug that down, and we're good to go. All right, guys, and just like that, you've gone ahead and serviced the driveline, the front differential, the transfer case, and the rear differential on your Lexus GX 470, 460, Toyota 4Runner, Toyota Tacoma, and other vehicles of the like. So please like, share, and subscribe. I do have a video servicing the 5-speed automatic transmission on this vehicle as well. I'll leave it in the video description below just in case you're planning on doing that as well. And that's going to be it for this video. So please like, share, and subscribe if you like vehicles like this or some of our other Lexus vehicles or other off-road vehicles. And we'll see you guys next time.